this. Is there anything you want the fans to know, or any last thing you want to say to them before we get to see this series tonight?
This is where the fun begins.
Hold on. Okay.
Hey everyone, Jen and Mike here, and I'm back with another video. Hope you guys can hear me. You can see me. Hope you guys having a great rest of your day and everything. Sorry, making sure the lighting and all that stuff is good. Give me a sec. Cool. Banner. Get the banner good. Get the banner here. All right. Cool. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for stopping by here. This is Jen and Mike's Have a Movie News show. We got a lot to discuss here today. A lot of things to cover in the world of movies and stuff, but a lot of things happened this week. We got a finale of a show that's been somewhat controversial in the Star Wars community, AHSOKA. We also got the start of a new show, second season of MCU show Loki season 2. We got another episode of Gen V, this boy spinoff show, which was a really good episode and a introduction to a new character, a popular character. And we also got some big Marvel news coming that was dropping. We know we still have the SAG after strike that's still going on. Discussions still going to be continuing on Monday. And but till then, we know we still got some announcements that are still going to be going up, because now the WGA strike is over, and that means that the writers are able to go back writing scripts, writing shows, and everything again, episodes, stuff like that. But production is still going to be on hold. But till then, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. But I just want to shout out to people in the chat and everything. Shout out to Phantomology. Shout out to Phantomology in the building, man. AHSOKA found it was all right. Yeah, it was. After rewatching it, it wasn't that as bad as I thought it was. Be. Then we got, yes, it was just all right. Got Wally in here. Wally was saying, "Yo, what's up? What's up, Wally? Thank you for stopping by." And we're watching in a pre-recording, anything like that, we'd love to have you guys, here, comment on comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts on topics that we're going to be covering here today. But till next time here, let's get on to the next topic here. Now, before we get into the next topic, I want to address something something that happened today. Shout out to Marcus in the building. Shout out to Marcus, man. So for those of you guys know that life, can hit us in many different ways and stuff like that. We have to be prepared for anything to happen. And a couple of months ago, my grandmother was diagnosed with cancer. I believe it was stomach cancer, and she just passed away last night. So I just wanted to make a tribute to her. Right now, this is just show. This is my grandmother Grandma Ruby, right there. Sorry. Make sure I get this correct. I put it there. Yes. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is my grandmother who just passed away last night. And so I just want to make sure to give a shout out to her. Yeah, she was a loving woman, and I just thank God that that she basically got everything she ever wanted. She got able to talk to all of her grandchildren and great grandchildren, everything. When she rests on, she just rests easy and everything because she was at peace. And this was one that affected me uh, differently than most folks and stuff like that. I did had a good relationship with my grandmother. This is from my mother's side, but yeah, and this was something that I had to prepare for now because now I'm a husband and soon I'll be a father, and I times like this you just gotta be prepared for anything. And but I just want to kind of give a just a moment of silence. Just basically shout out to my grandmother. Saying rest in peace to Grandma Ruby. I said I love you. I thank you for everything. But I just get a moment of silence, y'all. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate you, Grandma, for that. But yeah. But just making sure also we're still here. We're still gonna be talking about everything going on in the world movies though. And thank you guys also just for supporting me, giving me grace during this time and everything like that. So but yeah, shout out to Marcus saying rest in paradise from the heavens, having gained a new angel, earth lost one amazing human being. Condolences to your loss. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. Um, but yeah, and I wanted also to kind of briefly talk about this before I get into the next topic. Is that yes, I had moments where I cried. I was go out to dinner with my wife and everything, but the one thing that I realized this is that um, as I didn't much of we were saying that this is a difficult time for us though. I don't want to be reminded of her being in pain. I don't want to be reminded of her like suffering, and I don't want this grief to leave me. I think that a lot of us we want to say we just want this, we mourn, and we might go through different stages of grief so we can move on, but I don't want to move on from this. I don't want this grief to leave me. um I know that she was an amazing woman, and nothing that when I shed tears for her is nothing. It's tears of joy because I know she lived a full life and definitely no regrets whatsoever. And she's the mother out of five girls. My mother being the oldest, and also a shout out to my mom during this time, just being a warrior, being one of the strongest women I know ever known during this time, for my sisters and for herself. Um, and I just let her know that her son is okay. I'm okay. I'm gonna be okay. And I will also want to thank my wife, Tamika, for comforting me during this time, and and just being again just being by my side during this time of support. But yeah, guys, not to sorry to make this live stream a little bit doom and gloom and everything, but yeah, shout out to Great Jedi, yeah. Um, but yeah, and but I thank you guys, appreciate that. But we want to go into next topic going on in the world of movies. And first, before we get into the big one, which was be Star Wars, we're going to be going into the world of the Marvel Universe, and that will start with our first segment of what's new with the MCU. All right, y'all. We are back. Welcome to Jedi Mike 7 Movie News Show. And today we're going to be going on in terms of the first topic right now. Give me 1 second here, y'all. Let me get 1 second. Let me get my banner going and we'll get right to it. All right, y'all. So for those of you guys have not known, there's still going to be a lot of Disney Plus shows that's still going to be announced. That's coming relatively soon. That we know that we got currently we got Loki that's premiering right now. Episode 1, episode 2 will be coming on Thursdays on Disney Plus on 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll be going over Loki season 2 episode 1. I had the privilege of watching the first 4 episodes, and I'll give my I already gave my non-spoiler review of the first 4 episodes. It's 6 in total this season, same as last season. But going into that, we're going to be going over. There have been some news that some of the Disney Plus shows have been a shift in delays in terms of its release date. This article I'm getting here from MCU Direct. Give me 1 second. So, the upcoming Disney Plus follow-up will follow up with Catherine Hahn's mischievous WandaVision character after she was defeated by Elizabeth Olsen's Wanda Maximoff in this franchise first streaming show, WandaVision. And the official release date for Agatha, the Darkhold Diaries, was seemingly leaked by Marvel Studios. Agatha has had a bumpy road to get to this point. The streaming series had to undergo 2 different title changes, at this point 4, and the Marvel Studios scheduled like a ball on a little league practice. That's no understatement on that. Initially slated for winter of 2023, this winter, right? Early 2024. Agatha has been repeatedly been pushed down to MCU slate, with the latest report giving that it shows is going to be coming in the fall of 2024. So this means it's going to be coming out in around September, October, November time of 2024. Now, how does this affect the entire MCU in terms of other shows and stuff like that? Well, we also got shows that are still going to be coming out later this year. We're still got Loki. We're going to have What If Season 2. That's still going to be coming out. One second. Let me change this one. Present. Boom. No. Stop. Present. Sorry, y'all. Struggle streaming already. There we go. Boom. There we go. There we go. There we go. 1 second. Stop. Sorry, y'all. Struggle streaming. I'm getting my computer messing up right now. But yeah, basically what's going on here is that we done a bunch of Disney Plus shows that got delayed. So, for example, Ironheart got pushed all the way to 2025. Daredevil is seemingly been pushed to 2025 as well. I know it's supposed to come out around late 2024 in terms of its release date, but a lot of things have been pushed away. So we got Echo. Ironheart basically got pushed. Basically got pushed around out of 2024 completely. And as it stands, Marvel Studios 2024 on Disney Plus seems likely it will kick off with Echo in the early part of the year, specifically around January time. But yeah, after that, we'll likely get What If Season 2 midway through the year, and then Agatha to close the year out in the fall. Now, again, this is going to the conversation we're talking about Bob Iger, wanting to focus on quality over quantity, because we know that a lot of these shows have been rolled out like an assembly line, but really no focus in terms of the quality that these shows are being put out. And again, I think it's very frustrating for somebody, in terms of who love these characters, want to fully, embrace themselves with, actually good storytelling when it comes to Disney Plus. But apparently that has not been the case. Secret Invasion has been iffy. Definitely She-Hulk was definitely not a hit for Marvel. Miss Marvel was pretty good, but the show was not really that. A lot of viewers weren't really watching that show, unfortunately. But yeah, and then we still got Moon Knight, good things there, bad things there, etc. Now, again, when we see all these different characters such as Ironheart came out at the midway of 2022. at the end of 2022, around November, when Black Panther: Wakanda Forever came out. Right now, we're not getting her show apparently out until 2025. So there's at least 3 years we have not seen Riri Williams, played by Dominique Thorne. They're gonna be playing this character now. Again, some people are thinking, why do I care about this character? Why do I care about Ironheart or any of these characters and stuff like that? These are basically C and D list characters. I want to know about the big dogs, X-Men, all that stuff. And even though I thought that I was intrigued with the character of Ironheart, even though I had issues with terms of, you know, how she was portrayed in Black Panther, and also the fact of that this character specifically, now you really didn't have a big fan base when it came to her character. But more importantly, again, it's like there's so many stories that we could be focusing on. The fact that this is just gonna be another side story adding on to more of the MCU, but again, no cohesion, no cohesiveness, or something that we've seen before to actually get us to the next film, like Kang Dynasty, like Secret Wars, which is why with Loki, which I believe was probably one of the most successful shows in terms of storytelling, this show actually matters. You're seeing, Kang, you're seeing references of, the multiverse and timelines and stuff like that. And to me actually has impacts the rest of the MCU. But seeing a character like Ironheart, not saying she's a bad character, but whether people want to see that or not, it's just like, hey, we got other stories we can tell right now. But yeah, this show got delayed with a bunch of other things. Daredevil's about to be back on in production. I know they're still going back to writing scripts right now. But again, this shift in terms of release dates and all this stuff like that, it's only a testament to show you that that this is things are about to change in Marvel Studios. And again, I loved WandaVision, and I love Catherine Hahn as Agatha. But again, do I need a show of her? I don't think so. Right. And again, I think this is just more in terms of adding to the extra content we can just tell out here. And honestly, I don't know if we're gonna be having a big fan base. Yes, the song was a hit song, it was Agatha all along and everything like that. But again, like, we need to see more cohesiveness when it comes to the Marvel Universe. But with Disney Plus, we need to have these shows have huge, more bigger impact than they have before. But yeah, that's just my opinion. But I want to know what you guys thought in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts. All right, guys. Now, staying the topic of the MCU, there have been big news that was coming out of out of Marvel. As you know, we got Fantastic Four movie, which is still probably going to be scheduled to come around 2025, to my knowledge. And we got word from Marvel that's been reported that it'll be start filming once the actor strike is over. That we're going to be getting a we're going to get the full cast of the Fantastic Four has already been picked. We don't know who they are yet, but we do know for a fact that they're going to be starting production in spring of 2024. That's right, y'all. So again, we got some reports about a few people being, Sue Storm and Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four. But again, I am really excited to the fact that we're actually getting this movie being made. We know the creator of WandaVision, or the showrunner for that, is going to be directing this film. I know originally it's supposed to be John Watts, who directed the Spider-Man movies, Spider-Man No Way Home, Far From Home, and Homecoming. But yeah, this is going to be a new Fantastic Four with new actors, new storylines that can be covering in the MCU finally. Now, again, when we get this actor strike is over, we're gonna get the full casting. We're gonna get a whole bunch of casting announcements. I guarantee you, not just in the world of Marvel, but also in the world of DC. But again, Fantastic Four, I believe, is going to be a good property for Marvel. It's Marvel's first family, and again, we have to understand that this is, but this time, third time's a charm, or fourth time's a charm, because this is going to be the fourth Fantastic Four movie that ever came out. We had the first two of this original cast here. I remember I was a kid and I saw this movie, and I remember the first one I actually really liked. But then after Rise of the Surfer, okay, then we get the Fan Four stick with Michael B. Jordan and Miles Teller and Kate Mara and all stuff like that. As the Fan Four stick, the younger Fantastic Four. But again, I was really not a fan of any of these of the recent two Fantastic Four films. But again, what the question proposed, like what story they're going to do. We don't know what the villain is going to be. Is it going to be Doctor Doom? Is it going to be Galactus? There's been reports about saying it's going to be Galactus, but again, I don't think that um, that if they once the actor strike is over, that we're actually going to get a full announcement about what the story is and who these characters are going to be and everything like that. Now, we did get a hint about John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic in and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and which I had mixed feelings about. But again, still no words who are Mr. Fantastic. That is the big guy. That's the big one that everybody's going to be championing for. Again, he is the smartest, the smartest man alive in terms of the Marvel universe and everything. And again, I thought John Krasinski was a great addition to this cast and everything, or at least to the Marvel universe, since I know it's a fan casting. But from words, it's saying that they're probably going to recast somebody different. And I'm not really a fan of that. I know, again, I had issues with it, but again, the question proposed, who's going to be our Mr. Fantastic? Who's going to be the Thing? And more importantly, who's going to be the villain? And when are they going to be introduced in the MCU? It's going to be set in the past. How they're going to be actually wrapped into in terms of this Marvel universe? Because you have to remember that Reed Richards is actually a descendant, or Nathaniel Richards is actually a descendant of Reed Richards. Who's Nathaniel Richards? Kang the Conqueror. That's right. And now, some people, and myself included, is like, well, how in the heck is this black man came from this white man? Right? Oh no, they're just me. Sorry. But yeah, now so we know that Kang the Conqueror and the Fantastic Four has a lot of history with each other. And how they're going to incorporate that within the MCU, I do not know. Because again, his last name is Daniel Richards, and we're introduced Reed Richards. Going to have to make that connection somehow. And also another thing too, this is a new age of the Marvel universe where we're actually going to be getting into. Oh, oops, excuse me, my bad. But yeah, like where we're basically going to be getting to, like, listen, we don't have Iron Man, we don't have Captain America, at least the big dogs, which they might come back in Avengers Secret Wars or everything, But the thing is that we need to understand, we need to solidify that Reed Richards is the top dog in the Marvel universe, at least one of the greatest minds we ever known, right? And be a leading force, because we need that face, we need that leader of the Marvel universe moving forward. And so the fact that they're going to be started production in spring of 2024, that rest assures me they already cast all four of them, even the villain, and it's only a matter of time. Once the SAG-AFTRA strike is over, then we're going to be getting full context of what they're going to do moving forward. But the question is, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to go into the chat right now. Shout out to Great Pill. Shout out to Great Pill. I'm going to be putting the link in the description very soon. For you guys to come in and everything like that. Shout out to J King. I know J King's working right now. Say, hey, I heard the word family. Should I call Groot? Yeah. But yeah, I think Great Pill is saying pass on Fantastic Four. He said curious on the rest of the four. I am too. I'm too. But yeah, I really think that this is going to be an interesting point in terms of how they're going to move forward with this project. And because again, there's a lot of things about who's going to be in part of this team and everything like that. And who's gonna be Reed Richards? Is it Emily Blunt? Is it John Krasinski? Who is this? Almost every other week we're getting these. Is it Zac Efron as the Human Torch? All this stuff where we've been getting all these weird casting, rumors, but nothing solidifying what's next. And but yeah, I just wanted to know what you guys thought in the comment section down below. Ooh, 1 second. Give me 1 second, y'all. I actually got to make a call. We'll be having a short break. 1 second. I just gotta take this phone call, and we take a second. And where is it? and we'll be right back for a short break. I'll take a phone call, and we'll be right back.
I'm Miss Minutes, and it's my job to catch you up, so let's not waste another minute. Settle in, sharpen your pencils, and check this out.
Do what you gotta do, bro.
Yeah.
You told people, it's crazy.
But thank you for letting me know. Thank you for letting me know. All right.
got you, bro.
Peace, man. All right, y'all. Welcome back to John Mike 7 Movie News Show. We are back with a short break, and we're still on the topic of the Fantastic Four that can be starting production in the spring of 2024. But just a couple months away. This year is almost over, y'all. And my birthday is coming up next week. So, yeah, about to be turning the big 2-5, y'all. Shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, Team Fatty in the building, man. Hope you're doing well, man. Thank you for stopping by. Moderators, you make sure you guys put his link down in the chat down below. I know we support anybody, content creators, and also send in the Grateful Podcast link as well. Make sure we're supporting content creators and stuff like that. All right, now again, going back to the topic about the Fantastic Four, we still have the big Jonathan Majors situation going on, and that goes into my thoughts on Loki season 2. Because again, Jonathan Majors, the trial is still going on as we speak, but again, we still have Loki season 2 that's already been shot. Now, we left off Loki season 1 with He Who Remains, the person who created the TVA, who was in charge of the sacred timeline, a variant of this black man right here, right? And I can say, as someone who's watched the first 4 episodes, not to give it spoilers anyway, but you've seen the trailer, that Kang, or at least his variants of Kang, definitely are very involved in this show. That Jonathan Majors is not hidden. As you saw, we had the first look of the first shot of this show, season 2, right, of Kang in Loki. We see a big statue of Jonathan Majors and everything, like just right in your face, and it was there. They were not hiding this dude at all. And you know what? I commend Marvel for doing that. I commend them for not taking the safe way out here. But again, I was very surprised. Like, oh, they're not hiding this whatsoever, right? And this one will give my review here. Give me 1 second. I'm putting in the script in the byline here. But yeah, they are not hiding him whatsoever. Now, the question superposes, though, and for you guys to see, is that, okay, what is the ramification of Kang the Conqueror? We left him, the TVA, being in this rambles, the He Remains is dead and been killed and stuff like that. And now, where are we left now in terms of this character? I can tell you his presence, without giving anything away, his presence is very, very involved in this show. And again, going into time traveling, getting into all this stuff like that, they do it consistently and keep the momentum of Loki season 2, from Loki season 1 into this new season. Now, episode 1, let's talk about it, y'all. All right, now we see Loki going in, and he's running away from Mobius and other characters because now these people don't remember him, and you understand what's going on here. Well, apparently, it looks like Loki is time slipping through within the TVA. He's going through going from the past, present, and future, and basically trying to see, hey, where's Loki? And he basically got time slipping. And I like the visual effects they were doing here. Basically him going from the past into the present and everything. I really enjoyed it, and also to the future too. I think the visual effects they were having here, the way they opened up this episode, I thought was really good. But yeah, and what actually happened, and we don't know where is Sylvie, but we do know the fact that the TVA now is in disarray, that the sacred timeline is in the rambles and stuff like that, and we're in trouble. And you're seeing a bunch of branches that are happening, and we know is all hope lost? Well, here we have Loki basically coming here to save the day and actually exposing the truth that no, that Kane the Conqueror is the man that is basically stolen these people's and made them as variants and everything like that, and they're hiding the secret that there is no time lords, there is no or timekeepers or anything like that. It's just a lie, and that these people had their memories erased, all of it. And I enjoy what they were trying to do. I have to say that with this particular episode, out of me watching the 4 that I saw, this one was one of my favorites. My second favorite was episode 4. But yeah, I like the visual effects that we're doing with here in terms of exposing the truth, and TVA agents now realizing, oh my God, what's going on here? What do we do? But yet you still have the bureaucracy of the TVA still going on and talking about, hey, this doesn't change anything. We're still going to prune these timelines. We're still going to, kill innocent lives, whatever, just to preserve this sacred timeline. Now, again, I liked, seeing Owen Wilson back as Mobius, as it's a great character to this show. I love the dynamic he has with Loki, and again, you're seeing this from his perspective now that we're seeing a different side of Loki. We're now seeing Loki wanting to be the hero, wanting to be, much as he's, not taking a selfish approach out of this. He wants to save the TVA and wants to expose the truth that, these people's lives have been taken from them. And he's not doing this for selfish gain anymore. He's not doing this for some type of glorious purpose. If anything, his glorious purpose is to save the TVA, is to save the multiverse of the timeline. And now I like to see that, we have Mobius, we have Hunter B-15 now also are on board and trying to get to the bottom of this. But the issue is, we're still having Loki time slip, and this is where we get to expanding on terms of TVA, and we get to see different characters that get introduced into this season, and one of those characters is Obie. Obie is played by Kuan, Academy Award winning actor. To be in fact, Obie is named for what's it called? Boris, whatever his name is, but I think the short name call him Obie. But he is a fantastic addition to the show. Now, again, this guy is one of the nicest people you're probably going to meet. His personality, his energy just brings, just joy, innocence, but also curiosity as well. He's just happy to be there. But again, he's what you find out more about him is the fact that he's actually a downstairs guy that's working on like the handyman of the TVA, but he's basically been down there for many years, for almost centuries to be in fact. And he's basically the guy who created the TVA manual and everything like that. But again, like we get to see basically Loki and more Mobius basically talk to Obie, say, hey, how are we gonna fix this time slipping thing? And that's where we get, to basically the rest of the episode, him trying to, get Loki out of the, multiple streams of time and bring him back to the present. And thanks, J. Kane. It's called Ouroboros. Thank you, Ouroboros. But yeah, and I really enjoyed his character. Again, I love the energy that he had in the episodes and everything like that. But I also enjoyed the fact that in the later episodes, you guys are really gonna like the arc that they're taking Obie. Again, he's not just this one note character. He has curiosity, but he also just knows that inner workings of the TVA. And I also want to give a shout out to the set design of this show. Because again, it's still giving like this type of 1960 like bureaucracy type of show, and it hitting all cylinders in terms of set design, the costumes and everything. And I appreciate what they're doing. Again, just expanding, not relying a lot on visual effects, even though we get the big visual effects scene at the end. But again, the way we see just the sets, them going downstairs and everything like that, and we're seeing new characters, we're seeing new environments, and also just new locations within the TVA. And again, there's Easter egg, or at least people thought they saw as Easter egg of the X-Men. There was a door that opened up, and people thought it was probably from the X-Men right here. that looks similar to the Cerebro door from the X-Men movies. Now, I don't know if that was a hidden connection there, but I think I like the way that was a little nod there. But again, I did like the visual effects of what they're doing, especially when Loki was time slipping. And one thing I also like was the comedy in this show. Is it the best? Is it like the best thing ever that came out of Marvel? No, it's not. But what I'm saying is that I did like that some of the notes of the comedy they were doing reminded me of old MCU comedy. It wasn't just being silly and stupid. It was just situational humor of like what was going on at that particular scene, right? And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed what they were doing here. But then when we get later on in the episode, Loki has to go basically get prune himself from a different timeline while Mobius is pulling him out. And again, you see the humor of them trying to get him out and everything. But then we see a quick shot of Sylvie. Now we don't know, and we do know this is from the future, so this is a later episode. Get to see him run into her and everything. But then we actually get successful in pulling him out of the timeline, and now Loki's safe. He's in the present. Now we need to know. We need to find Sylvie, and we understand that some TVA agents are leaving, and actually about to prune some timelines or do whatever they want to do, try to get Sylvie. And but then we end off the season or the episode with Sylvie in the 1980s at a McDonald's, right? And we see her leaving, the end of time point, and we basically see her actually looking in terms of this lifestyle of peace. Basically, we're seeing her going into this McDonald's and seeing this lifestyle that she wants, because she's always been on the run, and now she doesn't have to run anymore. And then I like the conversation they had with that McDonald's employee, say I'll have one of everything, and we could see her now immersed in this world, this life that she wants to be. And that's where we end off with this episode. Episode 2 comes out next Thursday on 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'll be reviewing every single episode and be breaking it down. We'll be breaking it down also on Monday with Jay King as well. So make sure you go subscribe, hit notification bell on your way out. But yeah, guys, that is my review of Loki Season 2, Episode 1. All right. Now, the big one, and now I'm actually going to drop the link. I'm going to drop the link now because we're about to go into the topic of Star Wars. So, for those of you guys have not known, we've had the finale of AHSOKA that came out on Tuesday, 9 p.m. Now, for some people, when they're watching this show, having a good time, and they're seeing things, nods from the Clone Wars, whatever, sometimes their response is, right. Sometimes they have no response. Then in another time, you have people watching this show and, they're going things about the Force, going things about the Mortis gods and Thrawn and, Star Wars Rebels and Star Wars Clone Wars. And for people who have not watched the show, they're like,
what? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, some people have not seen Star Wars Rebels. Some people have not seen, the Clone Wars. And then for some of these things that we're talking about, you get lost. But even then, for all those people who have seen it, for all those people who have seen the show, and I've seen Star Wars Rebels, I've seen the Clone Wars, all this stuff, right? They're watching things, and and each time they get on here and watching each episode, and it gets to the finale, all of a sudden, people are having
emotional damage,
saying that this is the worst of Star Wars and everything. And wait, I guess he was off today. All right, well, guys, we can have a guest here. You can also catch him here on Mondays on Jedi Mike's That Movie Show. But we got a man, the myth, the legend, Jay King. Why didn't you call, nigga? You're muted.
Hey, is this thing on?
No. I think you need to lean forward a little bit.
Hey, is this thing on?
Sorry, I had to whip it ninja today. I'm sorry. Yeah. So how you doing, man?
Good. Good. One of the main reasons I'm on here is because y'all know how all y'all keep saying I need to upgrade, I need to get a better mic. Well, guess what? Now I do.
That's right. Oh, wait. I got one for you. I got a special one for you. Stay right there. Right there. What'd you say?
I said I got myself upgraded.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I was taking, give Jay King, a dub in the chat and everything. But yeah, he did it. Before we get your thoughts though, I want to go address the comment section right now. Great Pill was like, Team Fatty, you a Star Wars fan? Jedi or Sith? I think said nice happy birthday, fingers crossed for PS5. Yep. Team Fatty was saying Great Pill only saw the original movies, couldn't stop the 2000 movies, might try to see it again. Okay, you haven't seen the prequels, but you saw the original trilogy. Okay, all right, got you. Then Great Pill said they still have an opinion of it. Yeah, some people that didn't like the show. But before we actually get into Star Wars, I will give you thoughts on Loki. I guess we'll get into it on Monday, but I guess you're already here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll save Loki for Monday.
I'll say Loki for Monday. Okay, so so talk about AHSOKA. So so what were your thoughts on AHSOKA?
Well, I mean, we talked about it like slightly after the episode, but it's like I say my thoughts now, especially after giving it some time to linger. I still very much enjoyed this finale. I am not disappointed at all within this finale. Of course, my main gripes come from how my main gripes probably come from how it ended with Balin, I should say, or the lack thereof of Balin within this finale. Otherwise, I had no problem with this finale. I enjoyed the fighting. I knew Thrawn was going to get away, and I had a feeling either Ezra wasn't going to be able to get away or Ahsoka and Sabine wouldn't get away. So it pretty much was what I was expecting, with, of course, the beautiful visuals and music that we've been getting over this entire season. I enjoyed this very much, and I'm hoping, similarly to how, after the actor strike is over, we'll get information about the Fantastic Four. Hopefully, after the actor strike is over, Disney's like, oh yeah, just to let y'all know now, there is going to be a season 2, something like that. So, people can be like, okay, resolution that we won't have to wait for the movie.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, no, I was trying to get to TikTok to show some, but yeah, and I agree with you. Yeah, I think after the actor strike is over, then we actually get to the bottom of this. But yeah, so this is a spoiler discussion. Actually, let me get stop this right here. Right here. Yeah, the spoiler discussion of Ahsoka, the finale. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it okay? Now we saw, shout out to Phantomology. He thought the finale was okay, and for me, I thought after watching a second viewing, I thought it was okay. Now to my wife is not a Star Wars fan, but she watched the show with me episode by episode, and she thought this was a good show. She thought she was enjoying it. She was enjoying the action. She was enjoying the story itself and everything. Now there were some episodes she didn't like. She was like, "Is that it?" But again, there were some things that she did enjoy through the season. I know some other people who have not watched Star Wars Rebels and not watched Star Wars, the Clone Wars, and that still enjoyed this show. And now the question is proposed: are they wrong for liking this show? And for me, as someone who's followed everything on Star Wars, to like this show? No. Are they Disney shills because they like this show and maybe like The Mandalorian and maybe liked Obi-Wan Kenobi, but also going to say, hey, I like this point, but I didn't like this point, whereby generally I was okay with the show. Are they Disney shills for that? No. Am I racist, sexist, bigoted, or against or misogynistic because I maybe not like this show, or I didn't like some of the performances of these characters and most of them were female in this show? No. What am I saying, y'all? What I'm saying
That,
in terms of
that it wasn't woke. That's another thing. It wasn't
wait,
woke.
what'd you say?
Uh, it wasn't woke.
No.
Ho-
That's I
Hold
think
on, I
that's the
got
word. I think that's the word of the day. Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Ahsoka, I gotta say, in general, I thought this was a okay show. There were things I like, there were things I didn't like, and that is okay.
Mm-hmm.
I had to take a step back, and the same thing that happened in this, the same thing with Marvel. But Marvel, I'll be more a little bit harsher on that, because cause they actually just being lazy at this point, with certain things. With um, but with Star Wars, I just gotta accept the fact that listen, Star Wars, Star Wars been going on longer than Marvel in terms of these generations, right? You know, the MCU started back in 2008. Star Wars, all this started going back since 1978. With the first film, who was just called Star Wars. It was just called before it was called New Hope and everything like that. Now you have the old heads, you know, that basically, go say, no, this is my Star Wars. I was saying when I was first watching some things, I'm like, this is Star Wars. But again, what is Star Wars? Is it your definition of Star Wars, or is my definition of Star Wars? Again, does this property actually belong to us? No, it doesn't. Now, at the same time, are we customers? Yes. Do you have an audience? Yes. And can we also just say that whether we might like some things in the show and we didn't like in the show, did that make us misogynistic, racist, bigoted, whatever, or Disney shills, or people that like woke content, whatever? No. So I'm saying this, and we go into before we get dissect into these things. There's things I enjoyed in this episode, and there are things I absolutely hated, and we're gonna talk about it. But J. King, we'll start with one things that you did like in the show.
The score, first of all. I loved the score in the show. That's probably one of my favorite scores throughout the entirety of the Star Wars Disney Plus music. I just love it. Like the little trinkets from other films or Rebels, as well as the original stuff for here. Beautiful. Beautiful. I enjoyed it a hell of a lot. Another thing, I love the action. Every single action scene, both ship wise and lightsaber duel or gun blasting, was all directed and looked good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you go.
Oh, okay. Another thing, how they portrayed the characters. The characters were exactly who they were the last time we saw them within Rebels, and they're exactly who they were supposed to be. I love how they, you know, in a sense, I hear a lot of people being like, oh, we didn't watch Rebels, so we can't really connect to it. It's like, even if you hadn't watched it, you at least get a sense of who these people are. And if you do end up watching Clone Wars and Rebels later, you'll get more of the context. It's like they bring up Kanan, but it's like they don't go into a full description about him. They keep it vague about who he is, the father to, Jason, Ezra's old master. You get a little bit about him that could keep you intrigued, but it's not just full on description or anything like that. Same thing for Hera. She is exactly the type of leader that she had been towards the end of the season. Same thing with Ezra, powerful Jedi that had really become one with the Force at that point. Again, these characters pretty much exactly were who they were supposed to be, especially Thrawn. And it's not just because his voice actor was, playing him IRL. It's just that they were all exactly who they were supposed to be. And I also loved how it expanded Star Wars as well. Yes, we only got to see the birthplace of the Night Sisters, but we at least got to go out of the galaxy far, far away and see other stuff other than the Force and the Sith, more Dathomir magic, zombies, stuff like that. So I loved how this thing expanded on a lot of things, but also kept true to who these characters are. That's what I really loved about the series. That's what kept me hooked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you with certain points. I thought with certain characters, um, because this is also a debate that's going online in terms of how they're responding in terms of their emotions. I believe in terms of where Sabine and particularly also where Ahsoka was, I think it was actually accurate in terms of where she was in her life during this time. The fact that you went from the Clone Wars, the original trilogy, Rebels, and to this. Of course, this is someone that is a jaded character off rip, right? And and I really do enjoy again getting nods in terms of her growth when particularly between episode 4 and 5 to me were my favorite out of the season. Now, am I okay to say this? Is that the fact that all right, such as you can use fan service, but using fan service to actually serve the story? I thought this show did it better than any other Star Wars Disney Plus show, in my opinion. And what I
Yeah,
mean,
it wasn't in your face about it.
it was, yes, some things were in your like right there
But
trying to be Clone Wars, and especially we talk about episode 5, but
mhm.
it served the story because it was going in terms of Ahsoka, in terms of who she is as a character. Now, some people say, what was her journey as a character? Now, no, some people say like, what did she actually do throughout this season? How did she change? One thing that she did, I guess, in terms of evolve is that listen, you're trying to change, you're trying to, be this hardcore type of Jedi and everything. But again, it's also things about having faith, relying on the Force, not just just being jaded and being reserved of your emotions and everything. Again, with Sabine, she had a vendetta. It's like, listen, you didn't want me to be a Jedi, or you try and train me to be a Jedi, but then like my family went away, and I'm only trying to do this because I'm trying to get Ezra back. And then it seemed like you don't want to get Ezra back. So now that dynamic is now broken off, and they're basically coming to each other like, here we are. I'm hard-headed, but you are hard-headed too. So now she's basically seeing a reflection of herself becoming that master that she always had with Anakin. But then also it's just a generational thing that's been passed down through master apprentice for almost 3 or 4 generations, starting with Count Dooku. Because Count Dooku, he was the master of Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon Jinn was master of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan was to Anakin. Anakin was to Ahsoka. And now Ahsoka is to Sabine. So now, and I like that, again, you passing that down there, and her to remind herself of her youth. Like, as we get older, there's sometimes we might become hardcore people because of life we go through. Like, I understand, like, I just lost my, grandmother, yesterday. I understand, like, I understand that with being, losses and all that stuff and pain can, make you jaded. And like with Ahsoka, who, like, we've seen that storyline, front and center, especially when we grew up with her, as as particular with me as a kid. When we first see her, she's all, "Hey, Sky Guy," and all stuff like that. And now she just, covering her arms and all stuff like that, which people are still, being up in arms about that and everything. Now, again, with Sabine, I might have issues in terms of her, how she's emoting as a character in particular moments, right? I felt like you should be acting way more than what you're doing right now. But that's just my opinion. But with this finale, I thought, again, there was still some creative decisions. I thought that we are still being in, and as Star Wars fans, that we keep getting like, oh, we're building up the next show. And same thing, we're building up the next film, build this, instead of just giving me the answer and an explanation right now, and then you give me something to look forward to in the future. Because now I'm asking questions like, how the heck did he get here? How did he know about this? Oh wait, we're just jumping off ships now. Oh wait, you just got off and now Thrawn didn't know where you were. Okay. Okay. Now you guys stranded, and now Thrawn and Ezra left. Okay. All right. This is just kind of like history repeats itself. But the Night Sisters. Oh yeah. We initiated you, sister. But we're gonna head out now. But hail Dathomir, and then we back home, bitches. Yay. And all that stuff. So yeah, like with the she basically died on her first day. So it's like, yeah, this Morgan, what's it called, Morgan Elsbeth, whatever her character is, the Night Sister. Yeah, it was day one for her, and she left. Good fight though. I would say good fight with her, between her and Ahsoka. I thought it was good. But again, I liked the lightsaber action, liked everything, but I think in terms of pacing issues, I thought they were good with pacing. Just again, Disney Plus has an issue with their finales, and I'm sick, and I'm really sick of it. I'm really sick in terms of how they're not wrapping things up to a nice bow, to a point where it's like, hey, this can actually be a satisfying season, but because of that, now we're left like, oh well, now we're not gotta wait another year or two, whatever, to get some answers. But that's just my opinion, man. But going in that, what was in this episode that you thought they could improve upon? And I know which one you're about to talk about.
I mean, I already said it. Again, really, I didn't have any problems with the finale. The one thing is just like they teased a bit about the Mortis gods, and it's like, oh, maybe they're just bringing it up because they got to bring it up. Plus, we saw Morai, the bird, for like a split second, which I was like, okay, I'm fine with that. But then you go to show that there is an entire statue for the Mortis gods, who again are the Holy Trinity of the Star Wars universe, the Father, the Son, the Daughter, and you show that they're apparently pointing to something. That's what Balin's looking for, and y'all don't elaborate on it. Not even like something to tease us better than just it pointing to what's looking like something glowing in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get this is setting up for either the movie or for a season 2, which again, hopefully once the actor strike is over, they'll announce it. But still, it's like, I just wish that we got a little bit more on that, and maybe even if the season ended with us finally knowing exactly what Balin was after, I would be completely fine with that. At least if we knew, because he's one of the best characters within the show, and yet a lot of his stuff was still vague. We got little hints and bits that he wanted to almost seems like change history, which okay, but at the same time, I need a little more information. Like, how do you plan to do it? Is the world between worlds, or is it something else?
Yeah, I had a big issue with this. This probably was the biggest thing that pissed me off, because like, oh, why? All right, cool. We're expanding the universe. Great. What we do with it? Nothing. What? No, no.
Not to mention that's his last scene. So it's like, even if we get the character Balin again, it won't be Ray Stevenson. Like, that's sadly his last scene.
Yeah, yeah, no, because I was really because this is the thing. This is my biggest issue with this. For those you don't know, you don't even know what the Morris gods is. My wife doesn't know who the Morris gods are. We can't just go back to let's watch the Clone Wars, the Mortis trilogy, right? And just watch that and call it a day. We can't do that. We can't do that because nobody watched it but us, and we're not the majority. So when I'm explaining all this, my theory was correct. Like for those you guys do not know what the Morris gods are, again, is the arc of talking about basically these entities who are basically somewhat the creators of the Force, right? Representing the dark side, representing the light side, and representing balance. Now, if you actually see, we get imagery of this in the past here. As you see here on the right hand side, we see the sun, who represents the darker side, dark side of the Force. We see the light side, but then you see closer here on her right shoulder here. I'm gonna bring it down here. We get to see a shot of terms of an owl on her right shoulder, and that was the owl that we saw at the end of Ahsoka. And this is basically like a guardian angel that's always foreshadowing or overlooking Ahsoka, because again, Ahsoka died in a previous episode of Clone Wars, and the daughter used the rest of her life essence to revive Ahsoka. So inherently, Ahsoka is reborn and has her entity within her, the representing the light side of the Force, and also representing the fact that she is now Ahsoka the White and representing the light side of the Force. And because if you see, and I'm about to get a bigger shot here, something was missing in the statue, or not in the statue, in the mountain. And you see here, I want you guys to get a closer look right here. That right here, you see the father. And move my logo right here. You see the father, in the middle, who represents the balance. This is where Balin is standing, right? Then you see the sun on the right side. On the left side, right here, the mountain is destroyed. We're supposed to be where the daughter's supposed to be. So again, it's kind of giving the essence of where of like where the imagery in this is going to happen or whatever. Because again, there was Dathomirian witches statues there. So they had their own temple. The Night Sisters had their own temple there. But what is more to this planet? And I wanted to see more instead of some Ninja Turtles, right? So I was just like, I just wanted to see more of that. And then what we're seeing some familiar landscapes that we've seen before. But again, we never really get to see that. And I'm just like, okay, why is that your best character in this whole dang show? And it made sense also seeing Force Anakin at the end because he's supposed to represent the father. The chosen one was supposed to represent the balance of the Force. So it made absolute sense that he would be there. And AHSOKA representing the daughter. Now, who will be in place of the son? I don't know. Maybe Balin. Maybe Balin represents the dark side of the Force, right?
Maybe.
Jedi. So what are they? Again, have an explanation of who these guys are. I did not like the ending of Shin Hati at all. Oh,
nope. Again, just like Balin, barely in the episode, and the only scene we see of her, like, hold on, camera on me. The only scene we see of her is she finds those raiders that attacked Sabine like 2 episodes ago, and it's just with her. Hold on, what can I get? Just with her lightsaber. That's it. That's it.
That's it. That's all we get of her, and she did what she came in with this whole season, just staring at you. Come on, out of here. But no, I thought the characters were cool. I just like, come on. Don't like I need more than this. I need more. I need more. And I don't know. I just didn't like it. What? Oh. Was it Yeah, guys, you see this shit? Like, yeah. Come on. Yeah, so we ain't playing. She didn't blink this whole episode. Or this season. Anyway, but yeah, I just wanted more from this character. I wanted more. I thought they're cool. I know they're trying to represent like the wolf and the white wolf or knights of the medieval times and everything. Shin and Hati have like really significant names in this and everything, but yeah, I liked what they were trying to do here. Let me see here. I like in terms of with their lightsabers. I thought it was a cool concept, but you need to pay this off. I put the link here. Where can I go share my YouTube? Because actually, not my YouTube, it's my TikTok, really. But yeah, basically, I had a short, basically how Ezra just showed up there at the end. I want to talk about that. Ezra's now back in our galaxy, or their galaxy, whatever, and he's reunited with Hera, saying, "Hey, I'm home." And the way he got there, Force jumped onto. Well, before we even get to that, all right, my biggest issue with episode 7, I did not like the fact that when it came to the whole lightsaber thing, like, you're not going to tell me this dude not going to have a lightsaber. What did he do? First thing the dude came in, oh, hey, I'm going to build this freaking lightsaber. And not just any lightsaber. It's the one that Kanan had. And he had the same hilt and everything. It's like, oh, I saved it just for him. It's just for somebody. And it's the exact same one, which is why I also believe that when he gets back, he's going to be training Jason.
Most likely, yeah.
Jedi. Yeah, so I think that'd be great. But I liked this. I thought the scene was great. I thought this, it made sense. And I'm like, okay, Cool. Also shout to the actor right now too, because I did like I did like his portrayal of Ezra. I know there was some speculation of being the dude who played Aladdin, but I was really pleased with his performance as Ezra.
Mm-hmm.
Like me, he reminded me of an older Ezra Bridger. But now I want to see him as a Jedi and back then, and now he's gonna be a more bigger character than I thought he was going to be. I thought it's gonna be a cameo, get gone, and that's it. Nope, he's here back to
Nope.
stay. Dave Filoni,
Yeah.
like, no, I'm getting all my
Yeah.
characters back.
Yeah. No, he didn't die for our sins like you kept saying he was.
Yeah, no. This dude's still like Space Jesus. You know, I think he's still very ready to go on top of Noah's Ark and everything, and he went back so where he can now
I
and go
mean,
back
maybe.
to go
I
back
mean,
to the
maybe.
First Supper and everything. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I
no,
mean,
he looks like Jesus.
he's got the Force with him.
Yeah, so yeah, he already looks like Jesus. So, but yeah, and we had to be obedient to this new Space Jesus and stuff, right? Came back, and the first one who came to submit was Chopper. So yeah, but yeah, and but with that, again, now we see Ezra. The concept here: Ezra is back, Thrawn is now back, but then Ahsoka and Sabine stayed on that planet. How do we stay? How do we start with this whole season? Oh, Ahsoka at the end of Rebel season 5, right, or season
Mm-hmm.
4? Rebel season 4.
4. Yeah. Rebel season 4.
Ezra and Thrawn is on the ship, dip out, and they're gone. What happens in this finale? Ezra, Thrawn on a ship, get out, they're gone.
Except this time they're back in their main galaxy, and it's now Sabine and Ahsoka that are lost.
Yeah. And I just thought, like, okay, you know what? Do we really need to get to this point where we're just waiting here? No. Nah. Made no sense to me. Now, I have a theory about where they're going, but I'll leave that for there until we get to the discussion before. But again, Thrawn is now gone. Thrawn is now gone, and now he's with the Night Sisters, and now they're back to Dathomir. You guys know what Dathomir is? It's the home planet of the Dathomirians. Who are the Dathomirians? Well, they are some of your favorite villains in the Star Wars history, such as Darth Maul, Asajj Ventress, other characters. And they go back, and now they go back to their home planet here. Hold on a second. One second. Right here. So now he's back. Thrawn is back with the space hyperdrive, which I thought still cool design and everything. Going back to prequels era, but now back to Dathomir. And I would love to see a live action Dathomir. I would love to see that. But yeah, I thought the Night Sisters and this whole thing were cool. The moment they were introduced, the moment they left, like I am intrigued with these Night Sisters every time they're on screen. And I thought their portrayal in there was top notch and stuff. So, but again, I just think it's very funny how they initiated Morgan Elsbeth in terms of this finale, and then she basically dipped out on her day one. Like Thrawn was like, "Hey, you know what? We ain't on this ship, and we need distraction. So for the Empire, So yeah." But yeah, I don't know. I just thought, what did you thought about that, J King?
For the Empire.
Yep. Yeah. So, but yeah, what were your thoughts on the Night Sisters, though?
Oh, they were amazing. Like they were like it was almost like the what was it, like the three face, like the one that spins the yarn, the one that cuts it. Like they had that vibe going on with them. They were creepy. They were very much like evil mystics, and I loved their design. We've seen Night Sisters like them before, but it was just great seeing more of them in live action. Before we're only seeing them in Clone Wars and within the Jedi Fallen Order games. It's great to see them, and I just loved how they were portrayed. They weren't out doing too much, just enough that is like, yeah, this is definitely like, three freaking witches of the Star Wars universe, opening up the door to other mystic stuff outside of Jedi stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked the opening of this episode. Again, it was giving Jedi Fallen Order. Or was it Jedi Fallen Order? I think it was Jedi Survivor. I think it was Jedi Survivor. But I like this. Them. Giving the green fire of the witchcraft and everything like that. Like that, I love that. Um, them initiating her and everything, her skin changing. Like, all right, cool, let's get to this. This is a new Star Wars. But again, I wanted there to be context. Like, all right, you just don't do this, and just the way you could just kill her off like that. I was like, come on. Yeah, I thought. Listen, I thought the fight was cool. I thought the fight was cool and interesting. But again, I want to go into change this topic conversation about Sabine and about what's your thoughts on Sabine from her arc. Now being a Jedi, now her exemplifying now her Force abilities and stuff. What's your thoughts now? We get to this point, like, yeah, she used the Force in this episode, but like, the way she used it, and for her to get to that point.
Well, I mean, I always kind of expected this to be the route that they were going to go with Sabine. Ever since Rebels, when she trained with the dark saber, I kind of suspected, much almost in the sense of like Grogu, that it was going to be a mix, that she was going to be a, like, in between of both Jedi and Mandalorian. She's never really fit in on either side, so it's like, I kind of saw it coming. But in terms of her using the Force, I mean, as they said, the Force literally lives within every being. So it's like, while some people might be like, what the fuck? I'm like, hey, look, we've seen weirder. We have seen weirder. Like, again, people for the first time, at least in the sense of people who didn't watch the cartoons, didn't know about freaking hyperspace whales. So it's like, is this really the craziest that, it can be? That she has, Force abilities?
Okay, I like the part where she's finally able to use the Force and kill the Night Trooper at that moment. I think it was a little bit far stretched when she help assisting Ezra in jumping off from the base up to the Star Destroyer. I was like, okay, come on. Yeah, and I don't know if I'm not the only one that feels that way, but that was just like, come on. That's like, are you serious?
Yeah, I felt that a little bit too.
Like, yeah, come on. Ugh! Just I was like, come on now. Hey, yeah, come on. I'll catch you. It's like, see, watch this. You see this mess? Hold on, let me put this. Like, seriously, she running, jumping, and everything like that, and here he goes. Jumping here, looking like, I got you. Right? Jumping up here, boom. Yeah, I can fly. Oh, wait. I'm like, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. But that was just me. That was just me. Man. But again, now we've seen the episode now. Thrawn is back to Dathomir with the witches and stuff. Ezra reunites with Hera and Chopper. And now we have Ahsoka now stranded in, with Sabine, and Balin and Shin are now on this planet by themselves with his Morris gods and stuff, right? But then at the end of the episode, right, we get to see Sabine looking off to a far distance, right? And she's saying, "What is that?" Like, "Oh no, this might just be something in the sky," right? And then Anakin Skywalker appeared in a most graceful way as a Force ghost. And I'd say again, as much as I had issues with the finale, I still like that shot. I know they're trying to play on nostalgia. I understand, but I thought this was a wholesome shot to conclude.
It really was.
To conclude this show of Ahsoka. Again, I really enjoyed it, but after watching a second viewing, but again, because I had issues how we built up to this point, but I'm like, okay, I didn't like the meat in the middle of this episode, but I'm like, okay, I still like the way you ended it. And in fact, this is a Force Ghost. Now, where was Force Ghost Anakin, where Luke is, doing his own stuff. Well, hey, we haven't gotten there yet. But I thought this was again wholesome, and I thought it was just in terms of her arc and her character. I thought that was good. Now, again, people still saying that she really didn't go through an arc or change in this series, but I believe that she did.
She did, yeah.
Yeah, and again, I just want to shout out to, regardless of the fan service or whatever you may call it, Hayden Christensen is the GOAT. The fact that I'm so happy for him as an actor, he was able to redeem his character. Whether people thought Obi-Wan was a hit or miss, I will say this: he didn't get his redemption arc in Obi-Wan Kenobi, but he got it in this show, in my opinion. Yes, we see him as Vader, and Obi-Wan, but not like fully as Anakin. The Anakin we remember, but a more evolved Anakin. This episode, or at least this season, to me, I'm like, I felt this was our Anakin Skywalker, but the chosen one, not Jedi Anakin Skywalker, the Jedi, not Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, but the chosen one. And I like that. I like what they did with them. I wasn't like, why he had to show up, whatever. The only thing I was against this whole episode was like is that I hope we're gonna do a major cameo of Luke, Leia, whatever. I was like, oh, please don't do it. Like,
like the only major cameo we technically got within the series was 3PO.
Right. Yeah. Right. But again, that when that came in, that was like, oh, that makes sense. That makes the way the way they played that in there. But I gotta shout out to them for that. But yeah, man. But the question proposed now, at least whether we go into this overall season, what do we see next for the character of AHSOKA? But really, what do we see next? How they're gonna get off this planet? Now, and the reason why I wanted to save this because I actually think it's gonna be something that's coming up next year, relatively soon, that's actually gonna basically solve this problem about where. Here we go. I see. I see you in the back. Is that there's a show that's coming out. This show is called Skeleton Crew. For those guys know what Skeleton Crew is, I don't know either. Joking. Skeleton Crew is a new show on Disney Plus. It's going to be into the Filoni universe, whatever. We're going to be starring Jude Law, as you see right here. And this is going to be a show basically centered around some kids. We don't know who the kids are, but basically they'll be going on different adventures and stuff like that. But basically they're in this lost galaxy. The plot we got from this show, there'll be this lost galaxy running with some familiar allies and enemies, and basically in a non-distant galaxy that we haven't seen before. Now I'm like, well, what's a non-distant galaxy that we have seen that we have never been before? Peridea, which is where they are right now. So I'm thinking that that the Skeleton Crew or these kids, whatever, are gonna run into AHSOKA or on this planet, and that's how they're gonna get out, whatever. Yeah, that's what I think is gonna happen. What do you think, J. King?
Well, what I think is most likely going to happen is that if it doesn't happen in Skeleton Crew where they get out of there, I see most likely again. We'll have to wait until the actor strike is over to see if they announce that there is going to potentially be like another season before that big Dave Filoni movie. And if there is, the way I see it is that they're going to end up going the same journey that Balin is, like wherever he goes potentially, because we've seen people pull people out of the world between worlds, but we've never seen anybody like directly go into one of the, well, we technically have, but not in that sense of like go into like that portal. Like hell, the season could have them make their way back, and then boom, they're there, like say in the middle of Thrawn's reign, like in the middle of like Thrawn's new reign on the galaxy, something like that. Hell, yeah. Maybe even Balin might help. Maybe even Balin might help them for all we know. However his essence, continues on within the show.
Yeah, again, I finally just want to say rest in peace to Ray Stevenson. And I'm honestly, as his last episode scene, I was kind of like disappointed. the fact that like this is the last scene that he can off of, and people are kind of up in arms about it. Because again, he just did a fantastic job in his role, and I wish he was here to actually get all that praise and recognition for it. But again, it's like him just off on a on an end of a cliff, whatever, with the board Scots behind him. Like, yes, that's a nice shot, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not a cool shot. But again, it's just like we need some context of where this was going to him to actually pay off in this. But that's my here. But yeah, guys, let us know what you guys thought about Ahsoka. But before we get into that, we have some person who patiently been waiting in the back, and he can probably go on a long rant, and I'm gonna give him this time and stuff uninterrupted. And that man is
Hold on a sec.
Shout out to Jedi Mike and J King. Yeah, R.I.P. Ray Stevenson, man. Listen, the reason why this one kind of got me because he was my favorite character in the whole show. He turned out to be my favorite. I really liked his character, just his character, period. You know what I mean? His character's ideology. He wasn't Jedi nor Sith, but he was different. He was so different from any other character we've had. You know what I'm saying? He's more so in the gray, and we haven't seen a true gray Jedi, as you want to call it, or a true gray character in a long, long time, or if ever. It's arguable. It's arguable whether Qui-Gon Jinn was. Qui-Gon Jinn was much more of a gray Jedi than an actual Jedi, but this guy was truly in the middle. Fantastic portrayal, fantastic job of acting, and he is that character from my point of view. And that's what I have to say about him. The show itself, I just got here because I didn't hear what you guys said about it. It should have been longer, in my opinion. That 30-minute episode, it really hurt it from my point of view. That was unacceptable and just a waste of time. I'm excited to see where the show goes, though. I'll say that. I'd like to see another season. I'm glad the show is successful. I hope people continue to watch it. I hope Disney greenlights the second season if they haven't already, because this was a success, and for what it was decent. And if you didn't watch Rebels, if you don't like the show and don't understand what's going on because you didn't watch Rebels, go watch Rebels. You missed out by not watching it when you should have. I'm glad that Ezra Bridger was not some stupid weakling like I thought they were going to do. I'm glad he still had his Force powers. He never gave up on that, and he went in unarmed. Oh, the Force is my ally, and he actually used. Oh, okay, thank you, Ezra. Good. Did not like the girl power stuff though. They could have done without that. Still got to put the girl power. All of a sudden,
there was no girl power stuff.
Yes, there was.
There was.
Yes, it was. Okay, here's the thing. Sabine.
No, there was
same
not.
thing. Hold on. The same thing they did with Obi-Wan. One episode, the guy can't. Okay, here's my explanation for that. One episode, Obi-Wan can't move a book of matches. 2 episodes later, he's moving boulders and throwing them at Darth fucking Vader. The ultimate badass. As he was supposed to be when we were growing up, he was supposed to be the ultimate badass. In the comics and in the novels, this guy's blown up planets, crushing planets with the Force. And that guy lost to Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then here he is with Sabine. Whole show, she couldn't use the Force at all. All of a sudden, she could summon the lightsaber, do this, and then push Ezra up onto the ship. All this kind of Superfly Jedi stuff. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, there was no gradual progression. There was no build-up to it. There was no, you know what I mean? It just came out of nowhere, and it came out of nowhere, and that doesn't digest well. You know what I mean? Especially when Disney has now developed a track record of developing Mary Sue's. Even though you know now that Mary Sue's do not work. Shout out to you, that garbage trilogy y'all did. You know that Mary Sue's do not work. And you're creating another one with Sabine. No one's going to like that. It makes no sense. We want to see progression. We want to see people go from trash to godhood. But we want to see the progression. We want to see how they got there so we can comprehend and understand these things. But I think there's an issue with time and money. Same thing with One Piece had, but One Piece had better writers, clearly. I think there's an issue of money and the amount of time that Disney gave the writers and the directors and the staff to do this. Because, like, again, the dead giveaway was a 30-minute episode. There had to be problems in development. There had to be, in order for them to release that and think it's okay. You know, but every other episode was longer than 30. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's Filoni's fault or the actor's fault. Everyone did a brilliant job of what they had. I didn't understand people's problem with AHSOKA being stoic. That was just people nitpicking, in my opinion. I didn't get why people would be upset about that. I mean, I enjoyed her personally. Mm-hmm. I even enjoyed Sabine, even though the out of nowhere Jedi stuff came out. I mean, like I said, apart from that, I want to see where my man Balon goes with this, the father, the son, and the daughter thing. I want to see where that goes.
Yeah. I'll ask you, how did you feel about the whole concept of Thrawn and Ezra leaving and Ahsoka and Sabine staying, which is exactly where at the end of Rebel season 4, Thrawn right.
Oh, my thing is this.
I was like, wait, this is what we're just doing now?
Right. Okay. Shout out to the actor who played Thrawn #1. Shout out to him. I thought he did a brilliant job of portraying Thrawn. Again, that's another actor who did the best he could with what he had in terms of the writing. Thrawn's not supposed to lose that much. He lost like everything, like every battle. Send 2 TIE fighters. What? And then later on, send 2 gunships. I'm like, why don't you just send the TIE fighters and the gunships at the same time and you can just bombard them? Just
because he's playing chess, not checkers.
I get it. But I mean, you could have just killed him here and been done with it. So, all right. That aside, like I'm glad he got away, and I want to see how the First Order comes into play and why Thrawn wasn't a part of that. How do you explain this now? You know what I'm saying? Unless Thrawn's still around after the First Order, they've really gotten themselves into a pickle with that original trilogy. Unless they just retcon the whole thing, because Thrawn is a more than formidable adversary for anyone he's up against. But yeah, I'm tired of seeing not only this show but other shows do the same thing. They separate the main characters. Even One Piece has done this. All right, we're gonna go and assault Onigashima together. They get there. As soon as they get there, okay, the whole crew's gonna go in together. All right, let's split up. Wait, what? Why? We want to see all you fight together. What are we doing? The same thing happens here with Ahsoka. You know what I mean? Like it's like you said, and Ezra and Thrawn, they get away, but everyone else left together. Same thing. I'm like, okay, stop. Let's think of something better. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Now, okay, Keith, so you mentioned stuff about the wokeness and everything like that, about the female characters. Now, me personally, what I've seen before from Disney, I don't think this was bad at all. Mm-hmm. The fact that we only had the only 3, well, okay, so there's 5 female characters, right? Mm-hmm. In terms of Rebels, Kanan Jarrus is dead. Zeb is going out leading his thing. Then you have Ezra, who was gone, and now came back. The only male we have now from that is the son of Jason, right? And then for terms of the female side of the enemies, we had Morgan Elsbeth, what's her name?
Yeah,
Morgan Elsbeth, and we had Shin Hati, right? We still had Balin, and we had Thrawn. But then we didn't know at the end we had 3 Night Sisters. So I guess you can add that in there, right? But again, they weren't acting feminist at all. They were acting in their nature, you know. So it's like I'm trying to see where was I'm a woman and you're powerful and you're a man, you weak.
Yeah, none of that was in the show.
My thing is
both of those fights.
My thing is this. It's like I said, the girl power stuff comes to me is like, okay, we haven't seen you you were unable to use the Force the entire show. You didn't move anything. You didn't sense anything. You didn't feel anything at all. Yeah, it's like she had no connection to it. Okay, and that's fair enough. And then at the end, all of a sudden, she's able to do telekinesis. I'm like, to that degree. I'm like, okay, where was the build up to this? Is she
Well,
is she hold on, is she extremely powerful, or does she really have a connection, or was it blocked off? Give me some exposition, give me some explanation. Come on. And and with Thrawn, I was like, okay, they could have written him better. I hope they do in the future though, because what is Thrawn? And also he did it to delay them. Fair enough. So he can get his shipment of whatever that was onto the Star Destroyer. I want to know what's in the Star Destroyer. But anyway, back to the girl power stuff. That's what it is for me, Mike. There was nothing leading up to it. It just kind of came out of nowhere. Just like with Rey. No training from Luke Skywalker, but she can move a whole ton of boulders, things that Jedi Masters couldn't do. She all of a sudden was able to do it. I'm like, no. And the audience was like, no. And it's not to that degree in this show. They didn't do it to that degree, but they did do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Fair point. I give you that. But I want to bring up another person here in the building. We have our man Marcus in the building. Marcus, how you doing, man?
Yo. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. How you doing?
I like it. I like what I see. I like what you guys are talking about. I like how Jay King is, basking in his childish Gambino. I appreciate Jedi looking like he's from Boys to Men. Mandrell doing his very light-skinned privilege. I appreciate that. I think overall how it ended, Jedi. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys are still continuing. You still want me to go?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I think the show, for the most part, I understood what for the feeling, right? For people that wanted to watch these characters come to life. And I think what made it canon, Disney made the right choice of sticking along with what made it canon. And I think the way that Anakin, when he came out with Ahsoka and dealing with Admiral Thrawn and like the big bad guys that we've been waiting to see slowly but surely come out of the shadows in a way. And I think that Ezra, I kind of remember, I agree with your comments and your critiques on what it was last week. I don't know if it was a script or writing as far as them reuniting with each other. It just felt very, at moments, subpar. But then there were moments where I think the chemistry, you found it there originally. Like they finally left off where Rebels left off. And the big cliffhanger that it was. And I think certain things, like finally Ahsoka came to terms with, like she finally, kind of like Bucky in the Winter Soldier and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, when Bucky at the end found his closure and found his, he can finally atone for his mistakes in a way. And I think Ahsoka with herself, I think she was done with the grieving process, especially with dealing with Rex and stuff like that, like seeing the flashbacks of Anakin and stuff. So I think it was a good way. I'm not going to say it was bad, and I'm not going to say it was great, but I think it was overall a very needed film, I think, for what it was at the moment. Could they have done better on certain things? Sure, but I think this is why, if they do bring back the series for what it is for season 2, they can definitely add in some other stuff too if they want, especially going forward.
Right on, Marcus. Right on.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad. I'd add this, Mike. I'm glad that it's a continuation of Rebels, though. I was really happy that this is the direction that they went with it. It answers the question: what happened to Ezra? This, that, and the other, and why he wasn't there for the big war with the Death Star, and he wasn't there for Empire. He wasn't there for Jedi. It answers that question. Where was he this whole time? And I was actually really happy that they went in this direction, but now you have more questions. Where was he during First Order? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So hopefully we get the answer to that. Sabine and the whole 9, where are they then? So like I said, that trilogy there, they really screwed the pooch.
Well, I feel this is the thing. That my issue I'm having with them right now is also with the timeline, because we're in this, because there's a whole conversation that came out just before we end this show. Is that we've gotten an explanation about where this timeline of terms of the stories taking place, right? Because we're in this bracket between the reign of the Empire and everything, and now, or the Age of the Rebellion and the New Republic, and now we're about to get into the First Order. But what we see here is that after we get into the sequel trilogy, we get into the New Order or the New Jedi Order, right? This is the new movie that they're going to be making with Rey, Daisy Ridley. Now, again, any Star Wars movie that get announced right now, take that with a grain of salt, because anything can be here today and gone tomorrow. But as you see here, in terms of this, we see the Dawn of the Jedi, we see the Old Republic, the High Republic, which we're going to show during the High Republic called Star Wars Acolyte, which you already know is going to be coming around, I think, either late 2024 or probably late 2024, I believe, because that show's already been shot and everything. But yeah, and Skeleton Crew is right between the Age of the Rebellion and the New Republic. So that's where we're right in the Age of the New Republic right now. But again, like, we're in this whole weird bracket of storytelling where it's like, okay, we can't go beyond to to actually stories of possibilities now, because now it's like, well, we gotta connect with going to the First Order and the sequel trilogy, which we don't like, right? And I understand we didn't like it. I understand that, but again, I love what they did with the show, which I don't think a lot of people are talking about. Like, we went to a galaxy far, far away. We had somebody actually take a risk of going somewhere that we haven't seen before. Right. And with that, I don't believe that him going to a new galaxy, that was the only planet in that galaxy. Yeah, it's Peridia. That means there are more. But again, it's just like, we need new worlds, new stories and stuff. And I thought with the seeds that you planted were good. Just water them. And I think, like, I don't need to see the whole top branch and cut and eat the tomatoes, but at least I can see some sprouting and whatever. I just can't see the seed planted. I still see some dirt on it, and stuff. Like, and I think, and you don't just drop something like the Mortis gods, which we already thought that's probably going to be explored in episode 4, because we saw Anakin, but then we're like, wait, how does she fall into the World Between Worlds? Is that plan that they were on has connection World Between Worlds, or no? She just follow some water, and then, like, no, you have a Mario, like Mario Bros. You have a life, then you have one life, and then we got you, or something, or like Scott Pilgrim, whatever. You died, and then we got you another life, and then now you're back, right? And yeah, I don't know, because I was just thinking that the way they could explain that, there's still some answers, like, was that Anakin? Was that just her visions, whatever? But then at the end, we saw Force Ghost Anakin.
Force Ghost Anakin, yeah.
So, but again, I cannot combat, as much as I can nitpick with this show. I thought this show was okay. Was it the best thing ever? No. And then also people thinking, did this save Star Wars? No. Star Wars, regardless of Disney Plus shows, is still a cinematic event. And until we actually get a consistency of movies actually being up to the quality and the par of storytelling and that we've been wanting for, then again, we can have good Disney Plus shows, but until we get into the movies, it's still going to be, listen, we still have the sequel trilogy and still that storytelling that we're still frustrated about. And I feel like a lot of people did not like how it transpired, even the actors themselves. So, yeah, but only time will tell for that, though. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys stopping by and everything. And I just want to give just final thoughts to Marcus here before we end the show.
Yeah, no, I appreciate y'all just letting me up, and I always support you, Jedi. You too, J King, for running this channel. Mandrell, you always do your thing when you go on Wednesdays with your sister. Shoot on BMU. And then on your own channel too. Finally, you post some stuff. I want no booty shots from you. But I appreciate just like the breakdown and the review and the critique of it, whether it's good, bad, or the ugly, the indifference. And I agree with like Jedi, and I don't know whether Jake King and Ed Mandel think like I do. I like I said, I don't think this pushed it further, or I don't think it brought it back. I just think people were just waiting to see something already from these characters, and just finally see Ahsoka in her element. Because I know that when you saw her on The Mandalorian season 2, you kind of just saw her there, saw Luke. Then there you go too, like that scene too, which was cool. You finally got to see Hayden Christensen again, just like you did in Kenobi. But it just sometimes it's okay, like Father Time catches up to you, and you can see the ageism and you know, just in Anakin. So, and then you know, Rosario, she's not that young anymore. You're gonna have a stunt double for sure. You know, can't always do your own thing all the time, especially, you know, sciatica, you know, stuff like that. You know, whatever it is, arthritis. But and I appreciate too, like Gen V came out. I'm gonna watch that again because I thought it was very interesting what they did with that with Gen V. That was a good scene too, good shot. You know, and other than that, just I'm waiting for the other stuff. I thought Loki season 2 was great, phenomenal. I thought it was cool, and it that pace. It's what it needed. It's what originally the Marvel MCU shows was. That pace that needed to be shown, and especially how what he's going through and what you see. And I know Jedi and Jay King, you probably see more than we have in the general audience. But you know, stay tuned for that. So other than that, just keep doing the great work, fellas. Oh, also hit the link, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that. Leave a comment, super chat, cash app, all these content creators on the panel. You're muted. Give me my flowers, sir.
Sorry. But yeah, shout out to you, Marcus, man. Thank you for stopping by, man. But yeah, Mandrill, I'll give you your final thoughts on where people can find you.
Yeah, you can find me Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Black Man Unfiltered Network. Again, Wednesday nights, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do a show called Unapologetic with Mandrill and Shushu. Shushu is my younger sister. Yes, my actual biologically younger sister. Okay. But we talk about various topics and hope to enlighten and educate people on various topics and things like that. You know, also I have my own YouTube channel called The Big Picture. I talk right now what the channel is about. It's about health, fitness, proper diet, nutrition, and it's getting rid of all the white noise out there. Because you look up fitness, health, or diet, there's a tons and tons of different information on it. But my goal is to clear out all that white noise and just give you direct paths on what you should do if you want to eat right and exercise, lose weight, or just general health, the whole nine. Other than that, the show to me, it was pretty good. It was decent. You know what I mean? Of course, we could nitpick, but why bother? You know, the show's good enough to where you don't have to. Man. Still, the guy who played Balon Skull, he did a brilliant job, masterful job. Love the character, love the look of the character, the guy who played him, you know. Mm-hmm. And I hope we see more of that. I hope with the direction they go in, this next trilogy does have Grand Admiral Thrawn. I hope that he did the smart thing by being aware of the First Order and what they were up to, but still laying low, not joining forces with them, or you know, recruiting and assimilating what was the remnants of the First Order into his own army. That'd be a good one. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. We'll see. I agree with you, Mike. Star Wars is much more of a theatrical release and everything. And stop having women beat the most powerful characters in all of Star Wars history. Rey topples Luke fucking Skywalker.
Okay, all right.
And also AHSOKA gets one over on Anakin. No, people, come on. Let's stop Disney. Stop it, Disney. Stop it. That's not how this works. Okay? So Mary Sue's don't work. Please learn your lesson from that. Don't give us any more. We do want to see strong female leads. No problem with that. Okay? However, we want to see them progress like we did with Anakin Skywalker, like we did with Luke Skywalker. We want to see the progression. Them start from one place and gradually growing to be this big, powerful character. If you wanted to be female, fine, but make it make sense. The power can't come from nowhere. The audience can't connect to that. I'm fine with strong female leads. Just don't just give it to them. Things like that have to be earned, and that's where the disconnect is. Male or female doesn't matter. For me, doesn't matter. Just have them earn it.
Emotional damage.
Yep, otherwise you're going to get more of that. Anyway, Mike, thank you for having me. I'm not going to drag on. I made my point, I think. But AHSOKA, decent show. Am I going to rewatch it? Once. But
Moment.
not
Yeah.
once. But the Mandalorian, I'm still rewatching that. I rewatched that like 3 or 4 times. I really like the Mandalorian. So I really like the Mandalorian. Boba Fett, I watched it one time, haven't been back since. You know, I don't know what they were doing with that character. I have no idea.
That and the fact that they had Pedro Pascal, that was like a perfect fitting.
It was. Yeah, he did a really good job.
Yeah, before first of all, shout out to comments, shout out to Herbert Thornton. He just subscribed to the channel. Thank you for stopping by. And also shout out to We Trying. They're also another content creators, prior movie critics as well. I met them during Comic-Con. I've been watching them for a long time. And but yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to them as well. I think there's support to them. But yeah, before I get to Jay King, somebody that showed up at the end. This man made a recent appearance in Kendra G platform late at night and stuff. He's a millionaire lawyer. He's also British, and this man is Simon Hectic.
Oh my God, really? This guy? Stop stalking.
Simon, how you doing, man?
What's up? What's going down? Jedi for president. That's what's going down. That's what's gonna happen. I don't care what these niggas are talking about. Like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, you were talking about these cartoons. Is that what you was talking about?
You can't make this up, man. You cannot make this up at all.
Yeah, we're about to end the show. We were talking about Star Wars and stuff, the finale. Yeah. Have you watched Star Wars?
I pay attention to the producers and like the people that actually making the films and things like that. So, you know, when you get these dudes that are able to actually put movies out here that become relevant to us. That's what I watch. I watch the way they move. I check their bank accounts, like we be done on these YouTube streets. I check all of that shit. And yeah, it is what it is. You get what I'm saying? Because when you meet someone, you gotta shake their hand in real life. That's what matters. For real.
Yeah. Thank you,
Explain
man.
to me what just happened right now.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But I thought, thank you, Simon, for stopping by, man. But I'm gonna get to Jay King's final thoughts before we end the show.
All right. Well, first off, before I say my final thoughts on Ahsoka, Mandrell, you can't say shit about my mic game no more. I freaking upgraded. You can't say shit no more. All right.
I was going to congratulate you on that, sir. I was actually going to congratulate you and say thank you. Thank you.
Finally, you got a better mic.
Yeah, time to see you use that walkie-talkie.
Look.
Radio Shack.
Right, from Radio Shack.
Look,
Circuit City, more like it.
Look, this worked perfectly. Okay, it worked perfectly.
Right? No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
No, it was ridiculous. Anyway,
what we got me a bit more concerned about is niggas getting their mustache game up. So, you know, we don't want to be out here looking like Hitler. You know, this dude.
That's it, time out. Guys, let's all calm down, yeah? We're all worked up. Let's all just like chill the F out.
Oh yeah. No, you said the H word, yo. Not trying to work and mess with my money. Yeah. Go on, J King. We'll end it. We'll have the back chat. That's when we're really cut up. Anyway, go.
Jesus.
Come on, Jake.
Okay. Shit.
What? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah. Listen, I was about to end the show one night, and everything. This dude's talking about, Hitler and niggas and all that stuff. Like, I said, it's like,
You told me not to say that.
the man with the
Jesus.
mustache who was an artist, but he ended up going in a more lethal direction. But anyway, shout out to Uncle Stu. Shout out to Uncle Stu in the building, man. I've not seen you in a minute. Hope you're doing well. God bless you, man. Life is going good on this end. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for stopping by. Go on. Go on.
Yeah.
All right.
Trenches
JK?
are deep. Trenches are deep.
Okay. So what I was gonna say, regardless of majority opinions towards the show, as a longtime Star Wars fan, longtime Rebel and Clone Wars fan, there was a lot for the show that I enjoyed more so than I didn't like. I'll say for the most part, it was definitely one of the better shows that we've had for Star Wars Disney Plus content. Was it the greatest Star Wars thing of ever? No, but it was definitely a lot better than Obi-Wan in some senses, and a lot better than Book of Boba Fett in a lot of senses. I enjoyed the heck out of the show. There are some moments that I wish could have been done a little bit better or expanded upon in a different way, but I still will say that my time was not wasted on the show. And I'm just happy that we got to see many of these characters that I have adored from the cartoons get their live actions shine for all the, movie adjacent people that refused to watch the cartoons back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that's a good question. Now then, enough with that. Was Andor better or Ahsoka? I cannot compare Andor to Ahsoka because I think they're two different, type of shows.
Very
I will
different.
say Andor is probably one of the best made Star Wars content from Disney. In terms of the way it's shot and the way the story in general and everything. I think there's a very more human based story. Aside from all like the world, bending of like the Jedi and everything like that, but still most realistic show from Star Wars that we've gotten, and Andor's on another different plane from this, but I will say this. Hold on, make sure. But yeah, I will say no. I think compared to Disney Plus shows, definitely one of my favorites. I'm still debating whether this was my favorite or not for Andor. Definitely enjoyed Mandalorian in his own ways and stuff like that, but Obi-Wan moments I still enjoy. But again, I still believe that regardless, whether it's Star Wars is saved because of Ahsoka, no, it's not. Is it the best show ever? No, it's not. I think again, this was just a good addition to the Star Wars mythos and to the lore that we're talking about and everything, though. And again, I'm just looking forward to what we're seeing in the future with these properties, these characters. But I hope Dave Filoni again does more. Again, he's still doing good as a live action director, but when he gets to his movie, this can't be no hit or miss in this point. There gotta be some things, you gotta be consistent, and you have to understand that we can't not just do Star Wars movies the way we used to, i.e. with the sequel trilogy. I still like Gareth Edwards, Rogue One. Shout out to him, shout out to the creator. But we need to actually get into this better format of storytelling. And again, also restructure your 6 to 9 episodes, Disney, because it's not working for you. Having longer episode formats like HBO, when you get an hour-long episode for like House of Dragons and Game of Thrones and stuff like that. And then when you get to like 10 episodes, they actually feel complete for as a complete story. Try something like that. But anyway, and off with this is that I also again want to go back shout out to my grandmother. Again, like she just passed away yesterday. And I just want to say this show dedicate to her. I said thank you guys. I said thank you guys for love and support and everything like that. And again, to next time you can see us on Jedi Mike 7 on YouTube, and we'll be live next Monday on 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Jay King. Till next time, peace everybody. saying God bless you. Say, also make sure, you love your loved ones. Tell them you love them here, while they're still here and everything. Give them their flowers while they're here and everything like that. So peace, y'all. All right, we'll see you next time.
Is there anything you want the fans to know or any last thing you want to say to them before we get to see this series tonight?
This is where the fun begins.